I started writing when I was 16. I got serious about it when I was about 21 and have been doing it and other things, a lot of other jobs ever since. I think the best thing about being a writer is that everywhere you go and everything you do is you can possibly use. And I don't know of any other profession that has that aspect to it. You know, anything that happens on any given day you might end up using at some point in some twisted way. So you're sort of always collecting potentially useful information, if that makes sense. New York is a great place for a writer to live in that it's very fertile with things to observe, obviously things to experience, and it's also a terrible place for a writer to live because it's this very enormous and expensive distraction. I was drawn to New York because that's where John Boy Walton went to become a writer. That's true. Send Me is a story of a portrait of a family, covers 40 years and sort of gives a panoramic view of them from all the different points of view possible. I think the hardest thing was to rendering the character of the father in a way where the reader would have compassion for him. And I got to have compassion for him, which astounded me. I didn't like him at the beginning, and by the end of it, even though he does horrible things, I liked him. I felt sorry for him, and I did not expect to. And I learned that I have to have compassion for my unlikable characters in order to really get into their heads and understand how they think. And without that, I'm just targeting. I think the great thing about reading a novel, as opposed to watching a film where you're just receiving, is that when you read a book, you're contributing. And it's a collaboration between the writer and the reader. And every reading experience is unique because of that. I like finding the funny moments in a bad situation for the character that they can't see at the time, the character can't see, but would maybe look back at later and laugh at. And I like to let the reader laugh in that awful moment. And there are parts of it that still crack me up. My advice to writers would be to be honest, keep your ass in the chair, and keep in mind that it's never as bad as you think it is, and it's probably never as good as you think it is. Writing is the only thing I know how to do that can affect people in a positive way, so I want to get better at it and find out what I have to say.